Hello, this is Richard from the Family Office Club, and today we're doing an investor mandate interview with Matthew. And welcome, Matthew.
Good to see you again, Richard.
Yes, and can you explain what type of an investor you are? I know you wear a couple of different hats.
That's right. So it's been about 20 years that I've been an early stage tech investor and 30 years here in Silicon Valley. Of those 20 years, about half of it I've spent with angel groups. So I help run the funds at Crystal, which is the world's most active early stage investor. And then my wife and I have our own family office. She used to be the CFO of today is a public company board director. So we do our own direct investing out of, and we also manage a pooled vehicle with some other family offices, which is called.
Okay, great. And if we look at the mandate versus your own personal mandate, I know from us speaking before that on the family office personal side, you're very much focused on fintech and blockchain and internet related companies. Is that correct?
That's right. It's been
Okay.
my first career and that of my wife's when we first came to America was we were senior partners at big consulting firms, McKinsey, A.T. Kearney, Booz in my case. Ran the Global Financial Institutions Group and the global digital practice for Booz. So my clients were Microsoft and Cisco and HP and later on Google and eBay and PayPal. And we invest into that space. So we invest into the digital economy, which in particular means electronic commerce, fintech, and now blockchain investing.
Okay. And I know Kretsu's got a pretty broad mandate, pretty agnostic, and they go into many different areas. But one thing that's interesting that I learned from you being on our virtual investor panel is that you do look at real estate investments as well at Kretsu, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Can you clarify anything that's unique on the broad mandate with Kretsu, and then maybe talk about the real estate segment specifically, since that is so unique for an angel group to look at?
Yes, so Randy Williams, who's the founder of Keiretsu, was himself, he made his family's wealth in real estate. And so starting out back in about, 20 years ago now, in 2000, he was looking for access into early stage tech, Silicon Valley, the dot-com boom, but he didn't have the knowledge and expertise to make the decisions himself. So the genesis of Keiretsu was investors coming together to work with each other and help each other find good opportunities and go through the due diligence process and make investments. And Randy's philosophy was that there should be no constrictions on what was shown at Keiretsu. Basically, if a member thinks that there's an opportunity, a good investment opportunity, they're welcome to bring it and show it to the audience. And there's 50 chapters meeting on a monthly cycle. And today, probably about about one third is health broadly defined. About a third is, enterprise software, hardware, so technology related. And then about 20% is real estate. And the last 20% is everything else.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's helpful. And why is it that so many angel groups outside of Kretsu just say, nope, we only look at early stage companies, we don't want to look at anything real estate, and then the same angel investors walk out the door and they look at real estate deals?
Yes.
Not all of them, but it's just really interesting of why do you think that is the case? I mean, is that slowly changing, or that will change because it's just kind of absurd? Or
Well, I think you're absolutely right. Every family office is going to invest across most asset classes, and you're going to find different ways to gain access to interesting sponsors or investments in every asset class.
right.
Because at Keiretsu, we have about 4,000 members worldwide. Of
Okay.
those 4,000, about 20% are family offices. The other 80% are high net worth individuals.
Okay.
And about a third of those come from real estate as their core focus.
Okay.
So we just happen to have a lot of members who have great access to small cap real estate
Sure.
opportunities. And because the philosophy doesn't say there's anything, it actually says that's a very good thing, then those members bring their best deals to the forums. And that's sort of how it works. Now, a
Okay.
band of angels because I was a Band of Angels member too for 12, 13 years now. Band of Angels is very different. It's, absolutely focused on early stage tech.
Right.
And that's why it exists. And
Right.
so I can't speak to most angel groups, but in the case, Ian Sobieski over there would say, we're early stage tech. And if you want to do real estate, go to a real estate forum or a real
Got
estate
it.
club. We know what we do and we do it very well. Keiretsu
Okay.
just began from a different place.
Sure. Makes sense. So sometimes the groups specialize in one niche or one area and others are more broad. What would be your number one piece of advice for somebody listening here today that's a family office, an angel investor, maybe something that you wish you knew 15 years ago that would have saved you at least $100,000 in wasted fees, wasted time,
Yeah.
frustration?
Yes, so I would actually say I'd go back to my experience and the experience of, now that I've observed many hundreds of people becoming early stage investors. I think the first thing is take your time and invest some of your time in meeting people, attending events, seeing what other people are doing, but don't presume that you need to do the same. And the reason you shouldn't, you'll get a better sense then what are the choices and what are the different approaches, and you can figure out what fits for you. And obviously within the family office segment, we have first generation wealth through to multi-generation, multi-family office managers, and it's a
Sure.
very different horizon. So I tend to see the entrepreneurial first generation family founders like to come to Band of Angels and Keiretsu, whereas the multifamily office managers are going off to Opal and other things. So
Right.
what which type of family office likes the family office network, the Wilson network, most. So the first thing is spend some time getting educated, attend the events, don't pull the trigger. The second thing is clarify your own investment thesis. What are you passionate
Right.
about? Why are you investing? What are you active? Are you passive? Are you early stage? Are you mid stage? Are you tech or are you healthcare, or are you real
Right.
estate? And most of the mistakes happen where someone just wades in, gets excited, places a few bets, and then looks back later and says, where was my investment thesis has changed, and I have these orphan stranded investments.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody else has brought that up yet. We've done maybe 40 of these mandate interviews one-on-one in the last month, and
Oh,
no one's
well.
brought that up. And I think that the first thing we do when people come to the family office club to figure out direct investments is figure out, what is their strike zone and their thesis, and how do they play to their strengths, and focus on what they're more likely to be able to add strategic value to. I think that's such a huge thing. If you don't get that right, depending on your net worth, you could waste far more than $100,000.
Yes. And then the other thing, which I think is increasingly true, is that most families are multi-generational. Even if it's
Right.
a first generation, they'll still have their own children and maybe they'll have some grandchildren coming.
Right.
And the goals, mission will vary, actually can vary generationally. And so we'll see, first generation family founder members who made their money in, say, real estate may not be very
Mm-hmm.
interested in clean energy and blockchain and things like this, but their children may be very interested in those things. And so you need to have a process where you can have a dialogue across the generations that makes it sure that the legacy of the investing strategy is going to be exciting and relevant to the next generation as well as the current generation.
Right.
And I would also add to that we're seeing a bit of a blur between philanthropy and targeted investing, because if you think about philanthropy, the top three themes: health, education, the environment, add in a fourth, inequality in the developing world. Well, all of those are going to be technology enabled going forward. We're going to have
Right.
technology enabled healthcare, technology enabled education, technology enabled, well, we're certainly using technology to have cleaner energy, and so on. So I'm seeing a lot of families beginning to say, let's take some of the philanthropy pool money and put it into early stage tech investing. in a
Right.
targeted way. And then let's also take one or two younger members of the family who are very passionate about this and give them that pool of money to manage under the guidance of the family.
Right, right. Makes sense. Okay, great. Well, I think we got a couple $100,000 nuggets there. So sometimes people feel the pressure under that question, but obviously you were prepared with some good advice there. So I appreciate that. So, Matthew, what's the best way for someone to get in touch with you?
Well, so if they want to learn about Sue, we're partnered with you, and so they can just talk to you and Richard, if you think that they would gain benefit from coming to course, that can be part of the family office club
Mm-hmm.
strategy for that particular family. If they want to know about me specifically, our family office, we have a website, believe it or not, because we're first generation ex consulting partners, and it's called .com.
Okay.
And Alice and I she's a public company board director nowadays, as well as a tech investor. So she's on the boards of Royal Bank of Scotland and Fiserv and Calibra, some of the world's largest fintech companies and financial companies. And so .com just lays out what we're doing and why. And then we've written some books on the subject too that are available everywhere: Amazon, Apple, Smashwords, Audible, and so on.
Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, well, thanks for being here, Matthew, and thanks for being on the discussion panel last week. Appreciate that as well. And let's keep in touch, through the crisis and afterwards.
Yes, and we appreciate our partnership with your organization. So whatever we can do to bring interesting opportunities to your members, just let us know.
Sure. Sounds great. Take care.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.